morning, friends. What is up? Greetings and welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I'm your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado. I specialize in using nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your health and vitality and well-being, and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side, every day you are more and more in control of your body. You are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health issue. That is why we are here every day on The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 28 years of practicing pharmacy, I've seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes and hypertension and obesity and skin diseases like psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, acne, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds. Recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle. But what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure. Because the human biological system is a healing system, it's a regenerating system. It is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis. And while some folks may call that healing system a miracle, it really is just the way the body works. If you have questions about health or nutrition or prescription drugs, we welcome your phone calls on The Bright Side. Our number is 855-660-4261, 855-660-4261. If you have questions about the longevity products, formulations, health issues you or a loved one may be confronting, if you want to get off your meds or help a loved one get off their medications and get on a good nutritional supplement program, let us help you change your life today. Let us help you help someone else change their lives today. 855-660-4261 is our number on The Bright Side. If you want to purchase any of the longevity products you hear advertised on The Bright Side, or you hear recommended on the program, you can head over to my website, brightsideben.com. Take a look at our shopping cart, pull down on the menu at brightsideben.com, and take a look at all the longevity products, including the Beyond Organic products, Jordan Rubin's probiotic-enriched cheese, Swear OV. If you haven't tried the Swear OV cleanse, it's a great way to do a detox cleanse, to do a 3-day fast, 1-day fast, 2-day fast using the Swear OV. You can also purchase the Amasai product, all the Beyond Organic products off brightsideben.com. Of course, you can also get the longevity products, including my personal favorite longevity product, the Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0, and soon to come, Beyond Tangy Tangerine 3.0 as well. Just another example of how we're always perfecting and updating and fine-tuning our products at longevity. You can find out all about it at brightsideben.com. You can also call the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470. If you're interested in joining myself and my friend Dixie Sedgwick on our weekly phone calls, we do them every Sunday, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, Sundays, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Yesterday we talked about how to vet or how to choose a good vitamin product, what exactly nutritional supplement products are. We do calls every Sunday. I'm not sure exactly what we'll be talking about this Sunday, but stay tuned to The Bright Side and we'll tell you about that. The dial-in number is 605-562-3140, 605-562-3140. Participant access code 444-973-POUND, 444-973-POUND, and that's every Sunday, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. If you want to check out our videos, myself and Amanda Rideout do skincare videos. We cover some longevity products as well. We do them once a week. If you want to be put on the email list and get notified when we post, you can send me an email, ben@ksco.com, Ben at K for King, S for Sam, C for Cat, O for Oscar, ben@ksco.com. Just put in the subject heading that you want something like, please put me on the skincare video list, something along those lines. Just put in the subject heading so I don't have to open up all the emails. I've got a bunch of letters about purchasing my Truth skincare products, the Omega-6 Healing Cream. Some of you already experienced the benefits of the Omega-6 Healing Cream. We'll be coming out here with 4 products, retinol gel, Truth Balm, Truth Serum, and the Omega-6 Healing Cream. The retinol gel, by the way, is going to be a great way to treat acne blemishes, skin lightening, improving photo damage and wrinkled skin. We did a video. I think it got posted on Friday. If you haven't seen it yet, send me an email. Ben@ksco.com. I did a video with Amanda on the importance of retinol, vitamin A. It's a vitamin A derivative, retinol. And if you're interested in purchasing the retinol product, give me a couple weeks. Our websites will be up and our shopping carts will be up. And let's see, the products aren't quite ready for sale yet. The products are ready for sale yet. The shopping cart and the distribution portals aren't quite set up. I'm still trying to tie up a few loose ends on the website and the shopping cart, but stay tuned to the Bright Side and to your favorite GCN programs, and we're going to let you know when these products will be available for purchase. All right, so we're talking signaling molecules. I like to think of them as doorbell ringers. I'll explain that here in a minute. These are chemicals that initiate activities in cells and in the body the way pressing on a doorbell initiates a ring. For the most part, when we listen to health shows, nutrition shows, health shows, you're going to hear about nutrients, foods, vitamins, minerals and such, perhaps herbs, perhaps products too. And you're also going to probably hear about illnesses and diseases. But what we'll rarely hear Dr. Oz and medical professionals and even many nutritionists and herbalists and dietitians or other healthcare professionals talk about, which you rarely hear these guys talk about, is how the cell functions, which is very unfortunate because this is the nexus, the juncture, the point of health and disease. Remember, all disease is cell disease. And it's very unfortunate that you don't hear alternative health practitioners, naturopaths, doctors, herbalists, dietitians really talking about the cell. I listen to a lot of healthcare shows. I listen to a lot of nutrition shows, and we very rarely hear healthcare professionals talking about the cell. And partially, this is because a lot of these folks don't really know a lot about cells. After all, they're clinicians, most of these folks, doctors, naturopaths, dietitians. They're not scientists. They're not researchers. They're not academicians. They're not on the internet. They're not in a laboratory. They're really folks who are dealing with symptoms and folks who are dealing with patients and diseases, which is fine, but they're not really cell people. So you're not going to hear them talking a lot about cells. Some of it's because it's hard to sell you products, unfortunately, and make money by simply talking about cells and cell behavior. But if we're really interested in healing the body, if we've got some kind of chronic degenerative disease, or if we've got diabetes or digestive health issues, we got to understand the cell. If we're really interested in turning our health challenges around, if we're interested in staying healthy, it's absolutely vital that we address cell activities because all disease is cell disease, which of course means also that all health is cell health, which means if we're going to talk about health, we got to talk about cells. The Mighty 90 essential nutrients are important because of cells. The Mighty 90 essential nutrients are essential because they're essential for cells. The Mighty 90 essential nutrients do not work independently of cells. The Mighty 90 essential nutrients work because of their impact on cells, because of their impact on the activities of cells. But there are other elements that impact cell activities just as importantly, just as significantly, but in a non-nutrient fashion. They're just as important for cells, but they're not the Mighty 90 essential nutrients. These are elements that initiate activities in cells. They turn cell behaviors on, they turn cell behaviors off, not by acting to support activities like nutrients do, but rather by turning on switches. I call it ringing a doorbell. On the outside of cells, we got these open spaces. If you're electrically minded, you can call them open circuits. For those of us who are intimidated by biology or perhaps by electricity or electronics, this is not complicated. When I talk about open circuits or open spaces, it's not really that complicated. Just simply picture drawing a line on a piece of paper. Now picture that line has a little piece missing from the middle. We'll call that a blank space. The straight line can then be said to be broken or incomplete. If you fill that blank space in by drawing a little dash, that line can said to be completed. The opening is now said to be closed. In the same way, in the same fashion, we got these openings in cells that are similar to like a blank a line or a blank space between two lines. And there are biochemicals that can function as little dashes to close these openings or complete these circuits, in essence, filling the space between two lines, filling that space in. If you draw a line on a piece of paper, you yank out a little chunk from the middle, you could think of these biochemicals that fill the space in as closing the line, completing the circuit, whatever you want to call it, and cell activity is then initiated. This is exactly how a doorbell works. A doorbell is like an electrical current, like our line that's drawn on a piece of paper that's interrupted by an empty space, like a blank. When we press the doorbell, that empty space is filled in, and our electrical current can flow, and a doorbell rings. Action is initiated. All right, hang tight. We'll finish up when we come back from our break. Take your phone calls as well. 855-660-4261 is our number. We'll be back after this.
Thank you for listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Welcome back to The Bright Side. I am Pharmacist Ben. We're on the air Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 Pacific and 10 to 11 Central Time, 24/7 on our archive page, brightsideben.com. If you miss a program, they're all up 3.5, almost 4 years of programs at brightsideben.com. You can also head over to Ben Fuchs Archive or benfuchsarchives.com. Either one works. And there's a search engine up on Ben Fuchs Archives or archive.com. Search engine up that you can, if you want to look up a particular program, particular topic, see the Bright Side take on specific subjects, you can just head over to benfuchsarchives.com and punch in whatever you want in the search engine. Thank you to Peter in the UK for setting that up. Also want to remind you to check out my blog, pharmacistben.com, which we update regularly with news stories as well as blog posts. Thank you to Robert Lundgren, my webmaster, who does such a fine job on pharmacistben.com. If you're interested in joining the Bright Side Ben team, love to have you aboard for a one-time $10 fee. You can start yourself a longevity business. If you want to be a business builder, I'm looking for a couple of business builders. I can support you in your business. I'm going to be heading out to Little Rock, Arkansas later this week Hot Springs, Arkansas, to help my friend Peter Greenway build his business. And then in a couple of weeks, I'll be in Olean, New York for my friend Jonathan Smith, helping him build his business as well. And I can help you build your business too if you want to be a business builder under the Bright Side Ben, with the Bright Side Ben team. Call the phone team at 866-735-2470, 866-735-2470, and they can give you the scoop. If you've sent me an email letting me know that you want to be a business builder and I haven't responded back to you yet, hang tight, I will. Excuse me, I got a bunch of emails I got to respond to, and I'll probably be getting back to you here in the next day or two or three, so hang on if you've already contacted me. Let's see what else here I want to tell you. If you want to check out my videos that I do with Amanda Rideout, health coach, on skincare, various skincare subjects, and some of the longevity products as well, send an email to ben@ksco.com and put in the heading, please put me on the email list, and you'll get notified when we post our YouTube videos. Okay, so on the outside of a cell, you got little spaces. Those little spaces get filled, and those spaces get filled. In effect, a doorbell gets rung, and an action is initiated in a cell. This makes these little spaces important. This makes the stuff that fills in the spaces important. This makes the cell important and cell activities important. And all of these things are important in a way that is distinct from the Mighty 90 essential nutrients. The Mighty 90 essential nutrients are obviously important because none of this stuff's going to happen without them. But independently of the Mighty 90 essential nutrients, these doorbells and doorbell ringers, and the outside part of a cell, the membrane, is also going to play a very important role in how healthy we're going to be, how healthy a cell can be. The empty space on the outside of a cell is called a receptor, because it receives something, a chemical that completes the empty space, that functions as a dash or filling in the blank, is technically called a ligand, L-I-G-A-N-D, lig, as in ligament or religion, relig, means to reconnect, lig means to connect, a ligament is something that connects, religion means to reconnect, a ligand is something that connects to those empty spaces. Hormones are your major type of ligand, and a hormone will sit into that little receptor area, and an action will be completed. A hormone is like a doorbell ringer. Most of the ligands that we talk about are peptide hormones or steroid hormones, but there's a couple nutrients that actually act to complete these receptor circuits that can actually sit into a receptor and ring a doorbell and initiate cell activities. Vitamins A and D specifically act like ligands. These are two very important nutrients, obviously, but in addition to being nutrients, vitamins A and D actually can ring a doorbell. That's above and beyond their very important roles as nutrients. They can actually help turn on cell activities. They can ring the doorbell on the cell, and this is why you've probably heard it said that vitamins A and D are hormones. In addition to being nutrients, they're doorbell ringers, they're ligands. They complete that circuit, or they act like dashes to fill in the blanks. Then you have ligands that act real quick acting. Vitamins A and D and steroid hormone ligands. These are more long-acting ligands. But then you got these ligands that are super quick. They're called autocrine or paracrine as opposed to endocrine. Hormones are endocrine substances. Vitamins A and D, when they act like a hormone, are endocrine. They travel through the blood. But autocrine and paracrine hormones, ligands, doorbell ringers, blanks, fill in the blanks, whatever you want to call them, whatever metaphor you want to use, these things act super quickly. And one of the most important of these classes are the hormones that we've been talking about for a couple weeks now, called prostaglandins. Prostaglandins are not nutrients, but they depend on nutrients for their effects and for their production. Prostaglandin deficiencies are real, they're significant, and they play an important role in disease, especially autoimmune disease, especially diseases of inflammation. This, of course, covers most, if not all, chronic degenerative diseases. That means if you're dealing with any chronic long-term disease, diabetes or autoimmune diseases of any kind, God forbid cancer, arthritis, inflammation, there's more than likely going to be a prostaglandin component, either in terms of the amount of prostaglandins that you're making, not enough prostaglandins, or the balance of prostaglandins. And you really want to make sure that you're using nutritional supplements that support prostaglandin production or prostaglandin balance. That means if you have any chronic disease, any chronic degenerative disease, you can pretty much rest assured that there is a prostaglandin component, which means you want to be supplementing to help your prostaglandins. We talked about the ultimate EFAs as the main nutritional player in helping maintain prostaglandin health. If you're dealing with any, and I mean any, chronic degenerative illness, chronic illness of any kind, from acne to atherosclerosis to diabetes to Crohn's disease to autoimmune disease, whatever, you absolutely must get on a daily dose of Ultimate EFAs or your Ultimate Essential Fatty Acid Plus. There's no better way to do it. No better way to get your essential fatty acids than to get on a daily dose of the Ultimate EFA Plus, which is packed with prostaglandin supporting fats, especially GLA, which we've talked about in the past. Then there's the zinc connection. We've been talking about zinc for the last couple of days. Just like prostaglandin deficiencies are real, and just like they play a significant role in chronic illness, the same can be said about element number 30, zinc. Zinc deficiencies are also real. Later on, we're going to be talking about vitamin C and prostaglandins. Vitamin C plays a major role in prostaglandin health. I've been seeing a lot of craziness, a lot of nonsense about ascorbic acid poisoning or ascorbic acid toxicity and ascorbic acid somehow being problematic. I got a call a couple of weeks ago from a guy who turned his girlfriend, or I think his girlfriend or his cousin or some lady he knew, onto the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. And she looked at it and she said, "Oh my God, there's ascorbic acid in there. I can't use it. That's bad stuff. I read on the internet. That's bad stuff, ascorbic acid." There's a lot of ignorant, boneheaded, non-scientific journalists and ignorant healthcare professionals, I'm sorry to say, who are spreading silliness about ascorbic acid being toxic. And in some cases, I've actually read articles claiming that ascorbic acid is not even a vitamin because it requires various plant and food factors to do its work. I have a Facebook friend, Janine. She sent me an article. I know she's probably listening to the program. Hi, Janine. Thank you for the article. I like reading articles even if they're crazy and nonsensical just to see what people are saying. Anyway, Janine sent me this article that made the claim that because ascorbic acid requires plant factors, or has synergistic, not that it requires plant factors, but there's synergistic plant factors, meaning some factors in plants that are found with the ascorbic acid molecule help to support ascorbic acid. This guy who wrote this article, and I don't even want to mention him because I actually kind of like him, even though this article is ridiculous. He says that because food has these vitamin C boosting elements, these ascorbic acid synergistic elements, that somehow by itself ascorbic acid is not really a vitamin. Somebody want to tell the author of this article that ascorbic acid is made in animal bodies. Well, hang tight. I'll finish this up when we come back from our break. And take your phone calls as well, 855-660-4261. Okay, we are back on the bright side. We'll get your phone calls here in a second. Got a couple lines open at 855-660-4261. Before we went to break, I was telling you about this article that I read. My friend Janine sent this to me, claiming that vitamin C, or ascorbic acid is actually what they said. Ascorbic acid is not a vitamin. Why? Because ascorbic acid is divorced or separated from other factors which act synergistically to support the activities of ascorbic acid. Well, that doesn't mean that you can't get a lot of benefits, a lot of benefits from ascorbic acid. In fact, you do. That's all you got to do is get on scholar.google or PubMed and just look up ascorbic acid in cancer, or ascorbic acid in autoimmunity, ascorbic acid in all kinds of things. Ascorbic acid does great work, unbelievable work. And it is, in essence, by definition, a vitamin in the sense that you can eliminate deficiency diseases by using ascorbic acid. True, food-based vitamins are always going to be best because you do get cofactors. That's true. But that doesn't mean that ascorbic acid isn't a wonderful nutritional supplement. And somebody ought to tell the author of this article that ascorbic acid is made in the bodies of most animals. Ascorbic acid is made in the bodies of billy goats and cows and chickens and birds and reptiles and pretty much all animals except for primates and the fruit-eating bat and guinea pigs. Those are the only, and human beings, those are the only animals that don't make their own ascorbic acid. Other animals make ascorbic acid and they don't get scurvy and they don't get heart attacks and they don't make rutin and they don't make factor P and they don't make all these other synergistic nutrients that this author claims are necessary for ascorbic acid to do its work. So ascorbic acid is great stuff. If you want more evidence to support ascorbic acid's effects, vitamin-like effects, all you got to do is read Linus Pauling or Abram Hoffer or Thomas Levy or Dr. Matthias Rath, all brilliant scientists and medical researchers with the most impeccable of credentials and all of whom are very, very clear and very definitive about the fact that ascorbic acid supplementation is an absolute must for preventing illness and degenerative disease and mitigating the effects of all kinds of health issues from heart disease to cancer to autoimmunity. By the way, if you're following the news, it's hard to avoid hearing about the Ebola virus. Well, guess what? Vitamin C or ascorbic acid is one of the best ways to protect you from Ebola. You know, we'll finish this up tomorrow, and then we'll talk some more about zinc and the importance of zinc just the importance of zinc, period, for skin, for diabetes, for liver health, and also for helping build prostaglandins. We'll do that tomorrow. And then I'll get into a little bit about this whole Ebola craziness that's out there. Don't fall for it, folks. You want us scared. Fear is never appropriate. If you're feeling scared about anything after you read it on Drudge Report or CNN or wherever, turn it off. Don't read it. Turn off the TV. Turn off the radio. If somebody's making you feel scared about something, that's not in your interest. It's good to know about stuff, but not to go into fear. Anyway, 855-660-4261 is our number. You're listening to The Bright Side on the Genesis Communication Network. What's up, Crystal in Quebec? What's going on?
Hi, Ben. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you this morning, Crystal?
Good. Yeah. So I'm calling because I have a redness around my nose, and it has little bumps on it, too. It's been here for about a month.
You haven't been rubbing or blowing your nose or anything like that? Rubbing with a tissue? You don't have...
Yeah, but I just got sick a week ago, but it started before that.
Okay, well, mucus has some acidic quality, so that could irritate if you have a runny nose. That can cause it. If you're sure it's not caused by anything topical, in other words, mucus or rubbing or tissues or something on the tissues, then you always want to regard skin issues as a sign of an activated defensive response. And I'm sure you know, if you've listened to this program, that your body has a defense system, has a defense department, has an Army and a Navy and an Air Force, and it's kind of located throughout the body. This defense department is spread out, dispersed throughout the body, but it's especially concentrated in two main areas, and that's the skin and the digestive system. In fact, as far as immunity goes, the skin and the digestive system are like two peas in a pod. Stuff that happens, immune reactions that happen via the digestive tract will show up on the skin typically. So the first thing to consider when you have some kind of skin rash, skin bumpiness, redness of any kind of blood, if it appears like blood vessels are expanded, like when you have rosacea, if you have itching, all of these need to be regarded as a sign of a defensive response. The body's defending itself against something. Now, if you have a defensive response, there's only one question you need to ask. What would that question be if you have a defensive response? If you want to get rid of the defensive response or correct the defensive response, what would be the one question to ask? Well, logically, what is the defensive response? What is the response to? What's the offending agent? If there's a defensive response, there's got to be an offending agent, right? Make sense, Crystal?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, good. So and I'm assuming now that there's nothing mechanical going on, nothing surface going on, rubbing or mucus, that kind of thing. So if there's a defensive response, we got to ask, what's the offending agent? Well, offending agents get into the body one of three ways. You either breathe them in, and if you breathe them in, you're going to have some kind of respiratory problem, and that's rare. It happens occasionally, but it doesn't happen that often. A mold can do it. If you're working in some toxic environment, perhaps, and there's toxic air everywhere. There's something called sick building syndrome, which Dr. Sherry Rogers talks a lot about. Love Sherry Rogers' work, by the way. She has a cool book called Tired or Toxic that came out about 25 years ago, and I consider it to be a go-to reference source for toxicity and immune reactions that occur inside the body via sick building syndrome. That is emanations that come from carpet or drywall or asbestos or insulation of some kind. So you can breathe things in. That is conceivable. If you're an IV drug user, you can inject them, or if you have a vaccine, get vaccinated or have something injected into your blood, you can have some kind of reaction that way too. However, by far and away, the most likely way that anything gets into the body that can initiate a skin response is going to be foods and digestive intolerances, food problems, eating the wrong food, basically. So what do you do? Well, first of all, I'm not saying it's always going to be food, but food's going to be the most likely suspect. I'm not saying it's always going to be digestive, but digestive system is the most likely suspect. Just like if the wife disappears, it doesn't mean the husband did it, but the husband's the most likely suspect. They always go to the husband first, or vice versa, right? If the husband disappears, they go to the wife first. The boyfriend disappears, they go to the girlfriend first. The girlfriend disappears, they go to the boyfriend first. Doesn't mean they did it. It means you got to clear them as because they're the most likely suspect. Likewise, and this is so true for every kind of skin issue. You guys, I've been in the skincare business 30 years, and I can't think of anything more fundamental to tell you about skincare products or about skincare issues, because there's charlatans everywhere in the skincare business. There's charlatans everywhere in the computer business, in the car business, in the insurance business, in the government business, in the legal business. Everywhere we got deceitful snakes, but nowhere are they more prevalent than in the skincare business. And it is so offensive to me as a skincare professional who's dedicated my life to helping people to have to wade through all of these charlatans who know nothing about skin, selling products, lying to you, telling you about causes and reasons and the background behind skincare problems when they know nothing about what's occurring. So your topical skin issues are almost always going to be an immune or digestive or food-based problem. Focus on foods. How do you do it? Well, first of all, if you have any kind of digestive problems, that's going to be great. If you have a bowel movement issue or gas or bloating or heartburn, that's awesome, because then you can link those symptoms to foods. And more than likely, once you correct your digestive problems, you're also going to correct your skin problem. Hang on, Crystal, I'll finish up when we come back. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. 855-660-4261 is our number. Got a couple lines open for you. Love to hear from you. If you have a success story, you want to contribute to the conversation, or if you have questions about health or nutrition or prescription drugs, 855-660-4261. We're coming back with Crystal, talking some skincare. You're listening to The Bright Side on the Genesis Communication. Listening to The Bright Side on the Genesis Communication Network. Hey, Crystal, before I forget, why don't you send me an email, ben@ksco.com. Put your address in there, and I'll send you out some of my omega-6 healing cream on me for your schnoz there.
Yeah, at KFCO.
No, Ben at K for King, S for Sam, C for Cat, O for Oscar. Give me about a week or so to get it out to you, though, okay? You can use it.
I sent an image of it about a week ago to your website, but I guess you didn't.
No, I haven't seen it. I get so many of these emails. I got to figure out a way to get to my emails a little bit better. But anyway, you've had it for a week, and that's telling me that it's probably more than...
No. I had it for a month.
I'm sorry,
you had it 6 weeks ago.
Right, I meant to say you had it for a month. That tells me it's probably not mechanical, that it's more than likely something to do with food. So look for food reactions. If you know you have them, you're ahead of the game. If you don't know you have them, look for them. That's always the first thing to do. Whenever I see bumps or rashes or redness, I'm always looking for some kind of immune response that begins in the digestive system. You can use nutrients to support digestive health. Probiotics are very effective. The Biolumin Nightly Essence, of course, is my favorite probiotic supplement. Try the Fucoidan Z, or the Z Radical. I like the Fucoidan Z a little better. 3 capsules in the morning. You can also take 3 capsules at night if you want to get a little bit extra. And, of course, the Mighty 90 Essential Nutrients will help also. So between the Mighty 90 Essential Nutrients, looking for digestive issues, Biolumin Nightly Essence, Fucoidan Z, and then this omega-6 healing cream that I'm going to send you out, you should be good to go. What else were you going to say, ma'am? I'm sorry, Crystal.
Oh, the Z Radical, is that zinc?
No. Zinc is important, though. You might want to grab 50 milligrams a day of zinc picolinate. Sounds like you've been listening. which is good. So zinc would help you. You can also use topical zinc. Zinc oxide sometimes helps with topical rashes. You can get that at a health food store. 50 milligrams of zinc picolinate can help. But the fucoidan Z and the Z radical, don't be thrown off by the Z part. The fucoidan is the good part, and that's a special kind of algae or sugar that's derived from an algae that has wonderful soothing properties. You can actually put it right on your rash, and it can help soothe the rash a little bit. And you can also use aloe right on the rash. Sometimes that helps, although you have to be careful a little bit with aloe because sometimes people can have reactions to aloe. So you want to be careful there.
I have a question.
Sure.
Is it better to keep it moist or to dry it out?
Dry. Definitely don't want to moist.
Okay.
Don't keep moist. But if it's use the omega-6 healing cream, that will keep it just moist enough, and you'll get all the vitamin C and the other healing ingredients that I put in there, in addition to the omega-6 fats. And that's probably your best bet. And I'll try to get that out to you sooner rather than later. And I'm sorry I didn't get back to you via email also, Crystal. Does that help you? Are you good?
I hope it works.
Okay, good. Stay in touch, man. And don't forget to send me an email with your address so I can send out this cream to you, okay?
Okay, and can I send the image with it as well?
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, why don't you put your phone number in there and I'll call you and we can chat on the phone.
Thanks, Ben. I love your voice. It's so happy and everything.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye, Crystal. Oh, that was sweet. All right, if you sent me a note requesting some omega-6 healing cream, I didn't get it out to you. My apologies. I'm putting out a whole bunch of stuff. I'm a one-man band here, you guys. I'm juggling as fast as I can. So if I haven't sent it out to you yet, hang tight. I'll get it out to you hopefully sometime this week. And if you have not sent me a letter and you want to get a sample of the cream, send a note to Ben at ksco.com. Tell me you want a sample of the omega-6 healing cream. And don't forget your address. Some of you guys are sending me requests with no address. So don't forget your address. And hopefully it's much easier for me if you can put it in a way that I can cut and paste it right to my address label software. Let's see. And then if you've gotten the product, and I would love to hear how it's working for you. If it's working really well for you, I'd love to get a testimonial from you. I'm collecting testimonials in a file, so when my website goes up here in a couple of weeks, we'll have a bunch of testimonials and pictures, and you'll be able to see how the stuff really works. Okay, Truth Raider, Carl, what is up? Welcome to the bright side, my friend. How you doing, buddy?
Good morning. Top of the week to you there, Pharmacist Ben, or just Ben. Yeah, I guess I only like to be called Ben. That's all.
Just call me Ben. That's right.
Okay, this is a segment I like to call Truth Raider Tips.
Okay.
Really quick. But first, let me thank you for mentioning me to a couple. I guess you saw at the Las Vegas convention. I guess they live here locally in Portland, Oregon.
Yes. Did they hook up with you?
Line. Yeah, they called me last night and wanted to invite me to their twice-a-week get-together on longevity products.
Oh, that's awesome. So they're already doing it in Portland.
Yes, there's a couple that
give them a plug. I don't remember their name. Do you remember their names?
I forgot their. I'm sorry, I forgot their names, but I'll do that in the future.
Okay, cool.
I forgot what their couple's names were, but I know exactly where they live, and they're very nice. I'm going to meet with them tonight. Anyway, Truth Raider tips for the week.
Yes.
Hey, Ben, do you realize that you're only on maybe about 34 minutes out of the whole hour?
You mean with the commercials and everything?
Yes, you're on 34 minutes. So, just a suggestion, budgeting a little bit of your time.
Okay.
When you get to the callers, give them about 30 seconds to a minute, because you
30
want to
seconds?
Yeah.
That's not even enough time to tell me their name, barely.
Well, you can figure out how
I'll get
to
more
do it.
calls. You mean I could take more calls that way?
That's right. It's that way you can get to everybody, because I know you want to talk to everybody. You don't want to leave anybody hanging.
I hate leaving people on hold, and I always end up doing that. So, no, I apologize. So you think I should spend less time with individual callers? Is that what you're saying?
Well, just give them a chance to just explain something really brief. That way you can get to them and give them the most information on how to take care of their conditions as quickly as possible and as complete as possible.
Okay. So you're saying just have them I always say bullet points. When I'm doing phone calls, I always ask for bullet points. So, yeah, I think that's a good idea. I always hate cutting people. As much as I hate leaving people on hold, I also hate people I hate cutting people off when they're telling me something, even though I end up doing that all the time. I don't like doing it. So I haven't figured out a way to do it. I've had opportunities. Ted Anderson's asked me if I want to do a 2-hour show, a 2-hour program, and so I'm contemplating that. I may end up doing a 2-hour show where we just talk about skincare, because I've been really antsy about talking about skincare. I try to squeeze it in wherever possible, but now I have these new products coming out. So maybe I'll have a longer show and we can expand how much time we spend with people. But your point is well taken, Carl, the Truth Raider. I appreciate it. So you're thinking just have people talk for 30 seconds or a minute, tell me their issues, and then we just go right into solving the problem. Is that what you're saying?
Right. I think it needs to go the direction of 2-hour show. I think everyone out there would like to have 2 hours of the bright side every morning.
You think? I don't know. I don't know if that's the case. They may get sick of me. 2 hours. 2 hours.
No.
2 hours a day of Ben, Pharmacist Ben. Okay. Well, I appreciate the point, though. Thank you for bringing that up. Is there anything else? Do you have any questions or anything today?
No, that's it for today. Get to the callers out there. God bless, and we'll talk to you again later.
I appreciate that, Carl, the Truth Raider. That isn't a bad idea. I just don't feel comfortable when it's bad bedside manner to cut folks off when you're telling me a story or you're telling me about what's going on with your health. So I always feel uncomfortable about cutting people off, but at the same time, I always feel uncomfortable about leaving people on hold. And I know you guys are frustrated when I leave you on hold. I've gotten some letters. People actually complain about being left on hold. So I'm not sure what the alternative to that is. If you think it's a good idea to do an extra hour, why don't you send me an email and just tell me what your thoughts are about doing another hour, or if you think it's a good idea to do maybe an hour on nutrition, general nutrition, bodily nutrition, and then perhaps do an hour on skincare subjects alone. I've been talking about skincare for many years. I was alluding to this before earlier in the program. It really, as a guy who's been doing skincare for many years and really conscientiously trying to help people change their skin, change their lives via changing their skin, because as superficial and cosmetic as it may seem when you have a skincare problem, it could be debilitating, emotionally debilitating, especially for kids who have acne. And the thing about skin issues, eczema, acne, rosacea, none of them are things that you need to be dealing with if you know what's going on. The skin is super responsive to nutrition, super responsive to supplementation, super responsive to lifestyle changes, and the skin cells turn over every 4 to 8 weeks. That basically means that for many, if not most, skincare health issues, certainly for eczema and psoriasis, if you have it today, you don't have to have it 4 to 8 weeks from now. Certainly this is true about all health issues, but specifically about the skin because of the rapidity, the speed at which skin cells grow and skin cells divide. Nobody has to be condemned to a skin health issue, and despite what you're hearing from people selling you products, they're not topical issues for the most part, and for the most part, there's not a lot you can do topically to take care of a skincare problem, with the exception of certain key nutrients, vitamin C and vitamin A especially, and as far as healing goes, certain anti-inflammatory perhaps, or calming kinds of substances. I use some of those in my Truth products, but mostly it's vitamin A and vitamin C that you're going to need to be using if you want to have healthy, beautiful skin. And if you want to have anti-age skin, of course, you need to throw in something acidic like apple cider vinegar, or perhaps aloe, or glycolic acid, or lactic acid. We'll be talking lots more about skin in the coming days. Anyway, tomorrow we'll continue talking about prostaglandins, and we'll talk about zinc. I want to cover a little bit about this whole Ebola stuff. Much ado about nothing, in my humble opinion. Not that Ebola is nothing, but the freak out about Ebola, that's much ado about nothing. Okay, let's see. That's all the time we have for today. Send me an email, ben@ksco.com, if you want to be put on our email list for being notified about videos that we do, myself and health coach Amanda Rideout, or call the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470 if you want to join the Brightside Ben team. Thanks for listening, folks. Have a wonderful, awesome, spectacular day. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye for now.